Any, Noreen, can you introduce yourself and offer whatever help you can?
Sure. Thank you so much. So my name is Naveen Bhora. I've been a practicing immigration attorney now for almost 25 years with the same firm. I'm based in New York City, and I've been working with a lot of young physicians in APPNA for the last 15 years or so, for many years. I do want to just note that as the one thing that the United States has perfected is the complexity and the different agencies that are involved. So not only do you have to think about what the state license requirements are, there are federal license requirements, right? The visa process, and so it can be very complicated in that respect. So you just have to make sure that you've got all the puzzle pieces straight in your mind, and then everything sort of falls into place. H-1B is definitely the ideal path to go so that you can avoid that 2 year home residence requirement, which can be very difficult for people who don't want to go back home to Pakistan for those 2 years, or if you actually live in a different country but you're Pakistani, that can be difficult as well to complete that 2 year residence requirement. So with that, I wanted to see if anyone had any questions as a prospective. Yes.
Hi, my name is Mohammed Pasha. So thank you for being here. I have one question for you. So what are your thoughts on H1B stamping for the Pakistani embassy, like who have their H1 stamping from the Pakistan from the US? You know that they have recently launched the H1 pilot program,
Yeah.
but that is only for the Canadians that from the other country for the Indians. So why
Yes.
don't we get included in that one? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So as far as I understand, that was a successful program, but it's very limited. And we are all hopeful that they're going to reopen that. That's the stateside visa processing, so that you don't have to go back to a consulate to get the visa stamp. I haven't heard anything further in terms of when it's going to be opened up for everyone else, but it was a very limited window and people who could qualify.
All right, and thank you for that. And what are your suggestions that for the H1 stamping? Like I know, like few colleagues, they goes to Mexico and they went to Canada for their H1B stamping.
Yeah.
Some people like their thoughts, different thoughts. Some people prefer to go over there, and some people said that defer this thing. So what are your thoughts on that? Because what happened, to be honest, I want to say that like the H1B stamping, like when I got my H1B stamping, it went into administration process, and like obviously I contacted APPNA, but like it's their internal matter, and they tried their best, but like they have something on J1 but not on the H1. Then I need to contact the congressman from there, and he contacted his immigration officer, and within 2 days he said that you will have the good news, and within 2 days I my visa got approved, but I got so much PTSD that I never went back because like still I have like bad dreams my visa went into administration process.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend? Should we go like to the Canada or Mexico to get that one stamp? And if I went there and if my visa got into administrative process again, from Mexico I have like 30 days to come back. Do I have an option to come back or I need to go out and go back to Pakistan and wait for that? What are your thoughts on that?
Sure. So the challenge with getting the visa appointment in Canada and Mexico is that you're a third country national, and they're very limited slots, right? So if you can get a visa appointment, that's great. You could try to get an expedited appointment because you're a physician and argue that there is a need, right, for you to get the visa and come back. There, if you do get administrative processing, then you cannot come back to the US because once you apply for the visa, you're no longer eligible for that automatic revalidation to allow you to come back in. So you would have to either remain in Canada or Mexico until it clears or go back to Pakistan. They'll inform you when it's ready. You have to come back, pick up the visa, and then return. So there is that risk that if the last time, how long did it take? Like, was it 60 days, 90 days
I
before
think
you
it's four and a
started?
half months.
Sorry?
4.5 months. So almost
Okay.
like 120,
Yeah,
140 days.
yeah. It might happen again. I mean, it's not a very efficient system where it shows you've cleared once that they wouldn't have to do this again. That's a
So it
possibility.
is happening. I know few candidates who just lost
Yeah.
their residency spot because their visa went into administrative process. And
Yes.
still, I think there are candidates are facing difficulties for the J1 as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, APNA's been great with the J1s or people who are coming in for residency and getting, getting the administrative processing cleared. So I would definitely say that for anyone who's stuck, to let the YPC committee know about it. And Rizwan, maybe you can comment on what that process is.
So the bottom line is this: that if you are accepted in residency, right? APNA has a specialized area where they can help you with expediting your administrative processing. I don't know if you have gone through that or not, but APNA, it maybe not 5 years ago, maybe this now there is a committee who really works on expediting your almost 99% of the visas or residents who are accepted in US residencies got visa, right? Some automatically, some by some processing, but it happens. But I wanted to ask you another question, that many of the young physicians really do not know that when they apply for residency, is there is an option for H1 visa also, right? So what I heard from you, that ask your hospital that do they offer, I'm sure they all offer a J1 visa, but do they also offer H1 visa? And if they do, that's your better choice of choosing an H1 visa rather than J1. Am I correct?
Yes, yes, yes. Um, the H1 is expensive, and all the filing fees have gone up astronomically in April, so a lot of programs don't want to do it, but they certainly can. The other thing is that the H1 is limited to 6 years, so if you are going into a longer track like surgery, then you really will have to do it on a J1. So it depends on which track you're going down as well. Um, there was a lot of folks who are interested in a national interest waiver, which is a green card process based on research. And for the last 2 years, there are two different self petition green cards. There's extraordinary ability, which you really have to be at the very top of your field. And then there's national interest waiver. And the national interest waiver ones were actually going through really well. Like, I mean, it was astronomical approval rates. But it does take right now a good 2 or 3 years to complete the process. So if you are here doing research and you have a decent CV, then I would recommend looking into the NIW, getting the green card done through that, and then applying for residency after that. But just to keep in mind that your clinical aspirations are going to get pushed out a little bit further, but that's definitely a great track to go down.
So, can I ask you another question? I think a lot of physicians now, if they are choosing an alternate track like Shazia was talking about, they go into clinical research, they go into physical therapy, they go into some other track where they get H1 visa. And there is a lottery for H1 visa, if I'm correct, right? So, can you talk about that lottery process also?
Um, so there is a limited quota of H-1B numbers, but if you are at a medical school, like a medical center that's affiliated, a teaching hospital, then you are exempt from that quota. So all medical schools and medical centers that are academic institutions are exempt. So you can always get an H-1B year round. If you're doing private practice, however, that is subject to that annual quota. And the quota is about 30% chance of getting selected in the lottery. The lottery happens in March, and then if you're selected, you can come in October. But again, it is a 30% chance of selection right now.
Any questions?
Sir,
Yes,
sir,
there is a question.
um,
Afzal, can you
sir,
pass the mic?
I
Yes,
have a
please.
question.
Yeah,
Can I ask the question?
please.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. My name is Dr. Amna Ali. I'm a graduate of Punjab Medical College. So basically, I came to US last year. I applied for MASH last year with a complete application with step 3 and observerships and research as well. I did get 3 interviews, but I couldn't get through. So I don't know if this question has already been answered, but I'm here for more rotations and to improve my CV. But all the people who matched, I asked them this question, that what really worked for them. So if you could, elaborate. I know there are so many multiple steps and a lot of things go in this, but if there is anything you could shed a light on, something you could, guide me in a sense that what should I be doing the next 4 months so that I can improve my chances this year. And last year I went for IM, but when you go for through the soap week, you are open to any specialty, FM, feeds, anything. So for me, I just want to, start practicing medicine in the US. So I just wanted, I'm willing to do anything and everything, but I just want a proper map road if you could tell me. Thank you
So the
so much.
question really is that if you are not matched, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And what do you do till the next match,
yeah.
right? So what, it's a general rule really that if you are a medical student, there's a student here from St. Medical College, Saeed Asad, right? He's a final year medical student, but he connected with someone and was smart enough that came here as a student. If you come here as a student, you have a much higher chance of getting into and practicing into and getting involved with this. But if that's not a choice, right, you do clinical rotation. Some hospitals accept clinical rotation, some don't. There is an observership, there is a volunteership. There are many different tracks where you can track. And of course, if you want to do that track, or if you are a 2 years pass, 4 year pass graduate, you need to look for how to improve your CV. Bottom line, the
Yes,
reason you did not match last year because there was something missing,
yes.
right? And what is missing is some things scored, you have already done it. You cannot change that.
Change the score.
Rotations, what you have done, you have already done it. You cannot change that. But what you can change is research and passion for whatever you want to do. If you are specializing in family practice, for example, you have to show your research that it is related to family practice, and that's what you want to do, right? So I would say getting involved with someone, someplace, academic institute where they can use your help. Problem is this that they are there. What are the hospitals looking at? Hospitals looking at your skill sets. What are your skill sets? Are you certified clinical research person, for example, or are a certified data analyst, for example, or if you have different computer programs or skills which not other people may have it, they might look at you. But if you're just trying to learn something, why would they pay you for learning something, right? So you need to develop your skill sets in such a way that you offer something for them also. And upfront you want to talk to them that you're looking for publications, and you will do whatever it takes to write it, draft it, and all the other people have to do is to edit it and get it published.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Other person. Yeah.
There is a question there.
So after just let's take my
Hi, I'm Sajabul. I'm an interventional pulmonologist at Wild Coronal Medical Center. Thank you so much, Apna, for arranging this. This was a great function, and I loved interacting with everybody here. I just wanted to make a quick point on the issue of research. One of our friends mentioned here that he's having difficulty getting like good research experience coming from a community hospital. Now, I did my residency at a community hospital as well, and I faced the same predicament. So, in addition to collaborating with other institutions, like some of our colleagues pointed out, another great option is to do systematic reviews and meta analysis. And the quantity of projects doesn't matter. Even if you have a good one systematic review and meta analysis, that can really, go a long way. I'll tell you, in my own experience, I did one good solid meta analysis during my residency, and we talked about that during my pulmonary critical care fellowship interviews. We talked about that during my interventional pulmonary fellowship interviews. And then that also became the thesis of my master's in clinical research, right? So even if you don't have a lot of, infrastructure for clinical research, you can always consider, and I'll be happy to collaborate with you as well. So doing systematic reviews and meta-analysis is another great option coming from community programs, and that will take you a long way. Thank you so much.
There was a question there.
yeah, I will go there. I will come back. To you introduce yourself and then
Hi, my name is Aurangzeb. I'm from Queen's Hospital. I'm an internal medicine resident. I'm on J1 visa. I just wanted to ask, there was some news of J1 stamping in Washington, D.C. within US. Is there any update on that? Thank
Not
you.
that I've heard of. No, I'm sorry, I don't have anything about doing stateside J1 visa
Oh,
stamping. I think there was, she had a
yeah,
question.
yeah.
Did you have a
Another
question?
question?
Yeah.
Another question, yes.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hadika Idris and I'm an upcoming match candidate. I have a question that it's been 5 years to me on H4 visa. Is there any chance I can get an EAD on H4? And also I have a question with the audience that I'm looking for the inpatient rotation. So if any of the physician can help me in that, I would really highly appreciate that. Thank you.
तो आपने नाम क्या बताया?
Hadika.
Ladika
Hadika.
Sadiq,
Hadika.
Sadiqa.
Yes.
Sadiqa is looking for inpatient rotation. If any of the resident or clinician who can help her, please reach out. And you,
Thank you.
Amna Ali, right? So I know there are a lot of residents and fellows, and they are the best contact for you for inpatient or in-house rotation. So please reach out to these two people if you can help. That's how I am here where I am, and that's why many of us are here where we are. So please do help out.
Thank
With
you.
that said, any other question first?
Sir, it's
Sorry. Oh,
There's a
really quick. Yeah, the H4 EAD, you need to have your spouse have an I-140 that's approved and a visa number that's backlogged. So if your spouse has a green card process in place, it's only then that you are eligible for the EAD.
okay.
Okay, so you need an approved I-140.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other question before we? Yes.
Assalamualaikum. Yeah. My name is Atia Amir and I'm from Sahiwal, Pakistan. And I just came here like 2 weeks ago. So I will be the match applicant this year, hopefully. And I want to apply in emergency medicine. But so many people discourage me regarding emergency medicine. They will be like, you will not get any fellowship in future, or emergency medicine residents will be replaced by hospitalists or nursing physicians. And some of them will say like, it will be difficult for you, like being a female, you have to manage so many things. So can anyone of you elaborate that and help me with that, please? Thank you.
I would like to answer that question. I'm basically also from Sahiwal. So your emergency medicine, if you are passionate, I know like few of my friends, they applied in internal medicine for 3 years. They didn't get into internal medicine residency. But for EM residency, you really, really need to prove that you are interested. So they work as an ED physician in all of their CV. They have the ED rotations. They work as an ED physician in Pakistan. And when they went for the interview, to the program director, they mentioned directly that I work as a ED physician, I am a candidate, I'm an IMG, I am on visa, so you have so many concerns. Why don't you give me a chance for 2 3 days and see if I am a good fit? The program director said okay, so they gave him like just 2 days of observership, and in 2 days of observership, he proved himself, and he is an ED resident in one of the university program, very well renowned. And about the fellowship, like ED, after ED, you can do a lot of fellowships. You can do critical care. I'm a one critical care fellow, one of our attending. He is a ED critical care attendant. So you can work as an ED shifts. You can work an inpatient shifts as well. And the other thing is that after ED, you can simultaneously with the ED, you can work, you can do the POCUS fellowship. So by doing the POCUS, you can also work like as a ED physician or inpatient radiology as well. All right. I hope I answer your question.
So there is a urgent cares also, right? So the best thing is to go to any urgent care and see what the process is. And many of our physicians, if you want, Dr. Parvez Iqbal is here. He is involved with urgent cares also, right? Dr. Rahil, you are involved with urgent care also. So please talk to Rahil, for example. He works at urgent care centers. So he can at least advise you what the processing is and can you do a rotation type of thing in urgent cares, right? आपका नाम क्या था? Atia Amir. Go and get connected. So this event really was to make connections, right? To to people know each other, how we can help each other. Self-help Jyoti. And that is the key for this event. So with that said, if you don't have any question, we have to wrap up this program. But the lunch is ready. But I have two important information. Two important information. One is Dr. Shamim has invited you again on June 30th for APPNA New York picnic. And for young physicians who are not doing residencies, it's free of cost, right? You want to invite them?
Okay.
Okay.
So I wanted to inform all the young physicians here, June 30th and 26th October, right?
26th October.
Two dates we have. I have just one thing to say because I usually like to conclude with some poetry or share. So for the young physicians, a lot of uh, things were said about financial, monetary, but still I would like to have another message as a Pakistani physicians that this is a famous share in your efforts. If you could add something which is called a famous share because we are physicians. दर्द दिल के वास्ते पैदा किया इंसान को, दर्द दिल के वास्ते पैदा किया इंसान को, वरना अताअत के लिए आप कुछ कम न थे कर रो बयां.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah.
So this is also part of your profession. This Dard Dil is part of your profession with your CV, with rotation, and Apna is your, as Allama Iqbal say, we are like phrase millat. Millat ke saath means apna ke saath. राबता इस्तवार रख, पेवस्ता रहे शजर से, उम्मीदें बहार रख.
Thank you very much, Allama Iqbal.
Please.
So, thank you all. We are very excited to see you all. So, we just like, with permission from the President and Dr. Dogar, we decided that we have a picnic on June 30th, 30. So, we're going to have a cricket match that is going to be between Wyckoff Medical Center, uh, lead by I know Osama, so Osama Gujar, Dr. Osama Gujar, and versus Dr. This Interfaith Medical Center. So we, Dr. Pasha, that will be lead by Dr. Pasha. So there will be a cricket match. So like, and all those residents, IMGs, they can like come on that day. One more thing, related to me because I have physicians who are working with me, like in my office, shadowing me. So they are coming through different like sources. One of them from Central Apna, some of them they are working with me via like relatives and links, and one more link is from NY Reach. So from NY they connect with this SN Healthcare where I'm working. So they have in this way all the IMGs they have an opportunity. They can work with me. They can work with some other doctors over there. And if they have a green card and those things, even it will be paid. So that's just want to share with you guys.
So I just want to say thank you to everybody for participating, taking time out on a Sunday. Our APNA leadership, our president, Dr. Rizwan, and all the young physicians, physicians in training, residents, fellows. Thank you for taking the time to come out. And the physicians who are looking for residency, I'll say good luck, stay strong, and continue to work hard.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.